You are listening to conservative maverick Flint Engleman on the American Maverick Show.
And we're back live in CPAC, the 15th year of the American Conservative Union. It's a packed house right now. I think folks are releasing from the Senator Rand Paul speech. So we were cleared out a while ago, and there goes the Lieutenant Colonel Oliver Norris right by. Folks, we have our next guest and a return guest to our show. We're glad to have him back. Marc Hyden with the Conservatives Concerned About the Death Penalty. Welcome back to the show.
Flint, thank you so much for having me back. It's always a pleasure to be here, and it is really wild here, but it's been really wild at our booth because we've been inundated by supporters, and I think one of my favorite quotes that I heard so far was someone walk by and goes, "Death penalty? I'm conservative. This is a no-brainer. I'm opposed."
Well, fantastic. Marc, we have had you on. I'm glad to have you in person here instead of just on the phone line. Go ahead and tell folks about your organization. Just kind of give them a quick bullet, and then we'll talk about some issues.
Well, we're a national network of conservatives and libertarians who all have reservations with the death penalty because of our conservative principles for one reason or another, whether it's the fiscal side, the pro-life side, or the limited government side. There's so many issues with the death penalty.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, over 140 people have been wrongly convicted, and many others have actually been executed when there's serious doubt regarding the veracity of their verdict. That's not pro-life, and it's far more expensive than life without parole, so it's hard to say it's fiscally responsible. And in my personal opinion, giving the government the power to kill U.S. citizens, that's not exactly limited government, in my view.
Right, that's big government overbearing. What does your organization propose as an alternative to death penalty to make sure that when people are convicted that they've got a sentence that's going to keep them incarcerated basically for a serious offense?
Well, we believe that justice should be swift and sure, and many of our supporters have a different view of justice. Now, me personally, I would like to see some sort of system of life without parole while the offenders work to pay restitution to the victim's families. I think that's a better system of justice than killing someone because they're not getting anything back.
With the death penalty, what this is exactly what I wanted to ask you. What would be the actual savings if the death penalty was wiped out in America?
It depends,
I guess, to state governments and so forth.
It depends on each state. Each state pays for it differently.
Right.
But we've seen certain studies have shown that the death penalty is actually 10 times more expensive. But each state's different. But I point to the most egregious of all case studies that shows that the death penalty process has cost the state of California $4 billion, and they've executed 13 people. That's not exactly efficient.
Yeah, I was going to say, when you said California and the most egregious was $4 billion. Believe me, I mean, if you said that, if you ended that and said Virginia or Texas, I'd be like, yeah, possibly, yeah.
Kentucky, they spent $100 million on the death penalty program and still 3 people. That's pretty egregious.
Right. So then the debate comes back to the taxpayers. Significant.
There would. You just have to look as far as places like Jasper County, Texas, who raise their taxes by 7% just to pay for one death penalty trial. Is it really worth it?
Not in those terms, I'll tell you. Let's go back to on the victim side of the family. What would you say to them if we were to dissolve the death penalty?
I like to let them speak for themselves, and I work closely with many of them. And the system is so long and drawn out that it re-traumatizes them over and over again through a decade-long process of trials and appeals, and it turns the offender into a household name, while the victim is generally forgotten. So, now, not all of the murder victims' family members oppose capital punishment outright, but nearly every single one of them says the current system of capital punishment failed.
We have just about a minute left. I wish we had more time. I'd love to have you back on future, and you're great to work with. Marc, tell folks how they can get more information about your organization and the work you're doing.
I'd say go to conservativesconcern.org. You can learn more about us there. If you want to talk to me directly, send me an email to info@conservativesconcern.org. I'd love to hear from you and have you help to work with Conservatives Concerned to shatter the myth that all conservatives support the death penalty, because we know it's false.
Fantastic. Marc Hyden, Conservatives Concerned about the death penalty. Thanks for coming on the American Maverick, back on the American Maverick Show. Glad to have you in person, and enjoy CPAC.
Hey, thanks, Flint.
Fantastic. Folks, we'll take a break, and we'll be right back with more at CPAC. Fantastic.